You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money while you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. My kids never applaud that because the only reason they know that song is because listening to me sing it was the price they had to pay to have me sit down with them and play Texas Hold'em. They had seen one of these poker tournaments on TV, so one night they pulled out our dusty set of playing cards and poker chips, and they were determined to learn. It was more complicated than we thought. In Texas Hold'em, each player is given a few cards, and a few cards are put face up on the table. Everybody tries to make the best poker hand they can, using the cards on the table with the ones in their hand. That was the easy part. Learning how to bet, that was a different matter. There are different rounds of betting. There are minimums and limits and poker jargon. Like whenever you match another player's bet, you say, "I call." But the most exciting part was when you make the big bet and you go all in and you push all your chips to the center of the table. You either win big or you're knocked out of the game. Now, I don't know how many poor widows play Texas Hold'em, but the widows in today's readings are genuine, high-stakes gamblers. We're not talking about just money. They put their whole life on the line. They really go all in. So are we expected to follow their example? Give everything we have to the church? At first glance, in the gospel today, there seems to be a clear moral lesson. Give till it hurts. If you give only from your surplus wealth, you get no points. Sorry. But then I took a closer look at this scene, and something started to bother me. Just where did these two coins go? I mean, what kind of temple or church would ask, much less accept, the last little bit of money a poor woman has to live on? Only the worst con man or the IRS would do that. So why did Jesus let this go on? I mean, according to Mark, on an earlier trip to the temple, Jesus drove out the merchants and the money changers and knocked over their tables. But now it seems that Jesus is just sitting back and letting this poor widow give up her life. Why? For the sole purpose of shaming the rich into giving more? There are plenty of people today preaching that message, and some of them may not care very much for the gospel. No, Jesus knows something more than that. And so does the poor widow. They know what is really at stake. And they know a good bet when they see it. In this scene in the temple, Jesus teaches his disciples how to place a good bet. First, he points out a few bad bets, like betting on the approval of others, pursuing honor and recognition, especially religious honor and recognition, That's a bad bet. There are lots of bad bets we might make, like betting on our career or money or our looks or our health. In the long run, bad bets. We may bet on our intelligence or education or moral superiority. All bad bets. We may even be foolish enough to put all our trust in a political party or a charismatic leader. That's a really bad bet. So, what does a good bet look like? Give till it hurts? Well, you can try that. We do have a second collection today. And when the basket comes around and you put in considerably more than a few pennies, let me assure you it will be gratefully accepted. It is needed, so please do give. But our gospel challenge is about much more than just giving. Do you remember the gospel from last week? You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. If we fail to recognize the true nature of this commitment, we may be tempted to make a partial bet. We might say, I'll go to church every Sunday and put money in the basket. But the rest of the week, I get to do my own thing. That's the kind of bet we might make if we fail to notice the cards on the table, or fail to realize what is truly at stake. What's at stake here is no less than eternal life, resurrection life, whole, full, complete, everlasting life. It's the ultimate jackpot. When he was lifted up on the cross, Jesus put the winning hand on the table for us. When it comes to the high stakes game of life and death, Jesus Christ has already won for us the ultimate jackpot. We've already won. And for the moment, we have as our hand whatever we've been dealt in life. We can hold them, fold them, walk away, or run. But it's still a choice. Knowing what is truly at stake, we choose to gather. Not around a poker table, but the table of the Lord. If we are serious about following Jesus and claiming eternal life, we have to put everything on the table. Everything we depend on, everything that is most precious to us. We have to go all in. This is the bet that Jesus invites us to place. The poor widow made that bet. Jesus himself made that bet. By accepting the cross Jesus said, I'm all in. Today at this table, Jesus says to us, I call.